talk about, I have a bunch of like stuff that, a bunch of ideas of like things that I wanna lay claim to, but I think probably there's like one or two that like right now seem, are the most recent ones that I have in my mind, and one of those things, it was actually like kind of I guess it started when I was watching a video about like, it's called Why Don't Fascists Eat Vegetables? And it's by the leftist cooks, and it's a really small part. It's like just they were discussing Gwyneth Paltrow, and I think they said that like she was selling like a supplement for mothers, or for like either pregnant people, or like either pregnancy or like fertility or something, but for people who are like trying to get pregnant or something. And yeah, like there was a lawsuit, I think, because of other things, but like it's like related, because this supplement has I think vitamin A, which is like potentially toxic to babies. Yeah, like babies in the while they're like developing in the womb, and I think what kind of what I started to think about was like the way it said that like, this is a medical recommendation for like these mothers, I suppose, like these, people who are like pregnant with babies, and sorry, and oh, sorry, and it got me thinking, like, because there was like a moment when they were discussed, when I was listening, where they kind of switched to they were discussing this, right? Like, and there was kind of like at first they said like pregnant people aren't supposed to take vitamin C. That's a medical recommendation. And then they followed that with like it might cause birth defects, and just like something about that like kind of switched something in my head, where like because to me, like when I hear like the first statement, like pregnant people shouldn't take vitamin C, it I have this like reflex almost of like, this is for the sake of the person who's pregnant, is for their well-being and health, and then the follow-up turns out it's actually for the well-being of the baby. And yeah, just I think there's like this kind of reflex reaction in me, where like, this causes like a feeling of envy, I guess, like almost on the pregnant person's behalf, like yeah, it's like, and I know it's not really rational, well, I guess, I mean, this can be said for many different things, right? Like, and I know it's like, uh, to most people, the correct kind of understanding would be like, it wouldn't be envy. It would be, this is just what I supposed to do. Like, uh, I want the baby to be all right, kind of thing. And yeah, I'm sorry. Um, uh, and like, anyway, yeah, like, that's probably like, the average, like, response and the normal response. Uh, so I think like I'm kind of approaching this from a more emotional place, or like a more personal kind of emotional place. Uh, um, sorry. Uh, yes. That's it. I notice this pattern a lot in like medical advice for pregnancy. Um, where like you're not supposed to smoke, you're not supposed to drink. Um, there are lots of can't take this, can't take that, and um, it's strange because there's this like dissonance where I'm used to hearing that and thinking this is for the sake of the person who's pregnant, and I but then like when I'm reminded that like this is actually for the health of the baby, um there's this like, oh, like this almost like a para disappointment kind of thing where like, oh, this isn't about me, like um uh um like kind of, I guess, since I for some reason identify with a pregnant person, I guess, I mean, it's easier to identify, I think, with like somebody who's pregnant, than with a fetus or like a developing infant. So I think that's like, maybe just like intuitive, but um, uh, yeah, um, but it made me think because like there's obviously like some kind of, cause yeah, like I think to the most to people in general, like like people who are trying to conceive or want kids or are just pregnant, uh, to them it's just like like they're just something they're just gonna do, right? Like they don't see it as like a huge sacrifice, I guess. Uh, so maybe to them it's not like really the case, but to me, yeah, just like hearing that as like someone who's like not pregnant, or not planning really, but someone who's not really in their position, like uh um sorry, um fuck. Yeah, like I kind of um it just kind of lands on me like where it feels isolating almost, like it feels like it feels almost like this sense of like favoritism, just my irrational emotional reaction. It feels like, I don't know, I kind of imagine that this might be like similar to how maybe a kid is like an older sibling being like told to being expected to like take care of the younger sibling, kind of thing, which I don't think is like how do I say, just like as a side thing, like I want to say just like a really small side remark, like uh I'm the younger sibling in like my family, and my experience, like the age gap isn't that big, so I don't think maybe this wasn't really as maybe we weren't as predisposed to like that kind of dynamic where you know, the older sibling is like parentified, but uh so maybe that's why I think this way, but like, you know, just like, yeah, like in my personal opinion, like there's like something a little bit problematic about you know, the um cultural like kind of mm, trope, or like uh notion that like or the cliche that like uh older siblings being parentified for their younger siblings, because it feels like a lot of times like this seems kind of like the default, like, you know, when people think about sibling dynamics, and um uh yeah, I feel like it's kind of like um from my perspective, when I what feels closer to me, it's like younger siblings being like kind of bullied and like infantilized, but in any case, like that's just like my side thing, like, you know, uh but um yeah, like I imagine the envy like to be kind of similar, like, you know, in the sort of like between these two dynamics, where like um uh where how should I say this, like I can just like kind of imagine there being like, if it was me, like, you know, uh kind of there being like a silent like resentment being planted and like nursed within the pregnant person against the baby, uh where like everything is everything is done for their sake, like everything is done for their sake of the baby, uh and like um and I mean, like I was kind of like imagining like this fantasy scenario where like you know, I'm sorry, I'm so like uh I'm sorry, I'm like so cringe to look at, but like um I'm sorry, but like anyway, uh yeah, like sorry, uh sorry, um yes, yeah, like I heard that, I was listening to that video of like you know, where they mentioned like vitamin A is bad for it might cause birth defects, and like oh my god, I'm so loud, sorry, like, and um and it's like it's how late is it? It's like 1:34 a.m. Sorry, right, yes. I was listening to this like video where they mentioned the vitamin A thing, and I kind of like um had this like imaginary like little daydream thing where like there was like, you know, a pregnant pregnant woman, like, you know, putting on their retinol and like uh and because like in the video it was mentioned that like retinol is included in something that might be toxic to babies, because it's like I guess like related chemically, like close to like vitamin A or something. I kind of imagine like me going like oh, you shouldn't, like, you know, that's bad for the, you shouldn't do that because you're pregnant. And like and I kind of thought to myself, like, in that case, like, how should I, like, what it would look like if I was, like, communicating that in a more conscious way of, like, you know, conscious of, like, the kind of, side where, like, implication of, like, you know, I'm moralizing the person, you know, who's pregnant. And yeah, and it reminded me of actually in my culture, in the culture of like the country where I'm from, where I grew up. You know, it's a Taiwanese culture, I guess. Possibly also in I think they also have this in China, and I don't know. I assume like some other places too, like maybe you know, some other East Asian or like other cultures. But we have this tradition of like it's like postnatal, like care for like the mother, like where they uh it's like I don't know, it's like they have like this period of time after giving birth where like I guess they don't work, and like they kind of do these like particular like diet routines or other care routines to just like you know recover after the birth. And it's very much like a thing where it's very much a kind of practice where like the mother is like the center of like, or like, you know, the person who gave birth is like the center of like you know, they're being cared for, like they're, it's about them, like it's you know, it's not like, it's not about the child, it's about the mother and like or the, you know, the person who gave birth. And like uh uh and I feel like um just, and I know this isn't really like, this is something that I need to like examine, but like there's like kind of a reflex in me where like I hear that and I think like oh, it's just, there's this like sense of like like oh, like why do you deserve that, like sorry. um, um yeah, I guess it's like a similar kind of envy where like, you know, it's like also like directed at the baby, that I also feel but like I feel like we can also like kind of turn this on its head where like like I also like, you know, then I think to myself, wait, like this is actually a more rational like approach, like towards like, you know, fertility, where because yeah, it's like it's preventing the situation where like where it's basically like load bearing, like you know, it's not isolating the mother, and it's not like pitting the mother against the baby, kind of thing. And uh and it's kind of at least in theory, like supposed to like supposed to create an environment where like the people around the person who gets pregnant is like take sharing in that like responsibility to to care for the baby and it in that situation theoretically like it could prevent that kind of sort of like isolation that the pregnant person might experience, and like any sort of like because I think the material reality, the physical reality in this like in the case of pregnancy is like, you know, there's this individual having a biological phenomenon happening within them, but from the individual's perspective when they're pregnant, like the reality is that suddenly they're invisible, like that, like they need they feel like I imagine they might feel like they crave this like forbidden sort of like care or attention, and a bigger reality within that is that like, well, yeah, like I imagine like from their perspective, like there's this really this reality of like, you know, this kind of like attention that they want that seem to be like for the baby that they're carrying is like very scarce. Yeah, like so there's like this kind of like mismatch between this biological reality where like the person carrying is like strong and like is like full of like the center of things, I guess, and the bearer of like this kind of locus of like control almost, and like and a mismatch between that and like this reality of like that nobody wants to be pregnant. Like I know it sounds ridiculous saying that, like, you know, it's not true, but like also it's like who really wants to be in that position, you know, like anyway,